I'm Dane Rose, and thank you for joining me for this year of expanded growth and well-being. Week 28, they're recommended in sequence. Make your message beautiful. And I begin by referencing Maslow's work on the hierarchy of needs. And what he found by studying both mentally ill and incompetent people, and also studying the top 1% of performers, is that people go through several different gears of motivation. So everyone, like, first gear is survival, physical, water, warmth, etc. If that is not being met, the primary drive that's motivating someone is to meet those needs. Once that is met, you go into second gear, which is safety. This is your physical needs are being met, but you also have a feeling of safety, psychologically and physically, a sense of continuity of survival. Next, we come to love and belonging, meaning that if we do not feel safe, the primary drive will be to secure that safety. Once we do, the next gear we shift into third gear, and the focus is on, do I belong? Do I feel loved? Do I feel secure in my relationships? When that has met, when that need, and this a hierarchy of needs is referencing needs that every human being has, we turn our attention to the fourth gear, which is esteem. And with all these three securely met and a focus on esteem, we're humming along at a pretty good rate. And once we feel secure in our value as human beings, we are proud of who we are, we like ourselves, we move on to the fifth gear in this hierarchy of motivation, which is all about realizing our potential. And so this is learning new skills just to build them, to discover things like aesthetics and the like. Now, the reason that I'm mentioning this, make your message beautiful, is that it becomes increasingly important for the individuals who have reached a speed of growth, of momentum, that's equivalent to what is the fifth gear of motivation. So they're going along at a good rate. These are among the more, we're dealing with the top 10% of successful and competent people on the planet have moved through this stage to a primary motivation of self-actualization, self-realization, embodying all of their potential. And the final gear after that, self-transcendence, is based on this being kind of in good standing. So we don't transcend the personal ego. We don't have that being our primary priority, which is, for example, acts of service, helping others. We don't have that until our own realization meets at least a medium secure quality standard that we feel comfortable with. And including in that self-realization is taste, aesthetic taste. And so if we do not make our message beautiful, whether it is our product or our presentation, as you can tell, I'm working on that now. By no means finished, but doing little touches. It's been a journey. You don't see it here, but I've got 4 new overhead lights, and then I've set up this little thing where one switch turns these lights on. And I would say that my video aesthetics are about, well, probably 125% better than when we began. It's by no means at a high level, but it's moving in that direction. And the reason that it's valuable to bring our business, our web page, our cards, our presentation, our communication, our emailing, etc., to a level of beauty is that fear, shame, guilt, etc., work as motivators for someone in survival. They work for someone who doesn't feel safe. They may even work for someone needing love and belonging. You got to do this, otherwise I'm going to reject you or something. But once you get into esteem and beyond, then crude or ugly messages stop motivating others, and they stop creating rapport. Someone who's actively working on aesthetics as a primary motivation may actually be more drawn to the way a message is presented as opposed to the content of the message. I'm definitely more leaning towards the content of the message myself, but in the yin yang and the masculine feminine, where you have the yang. The yang is all about the result, the content, the details, the facts, the end of the journey, the goal. But the yin is all about the way of getting there. This is the feminine principle. It's not about arriving. It's about how one travels on the journey. In that sense, it's not about, a madcap rush to the airport and this and that. Okay, we got the plane, we got this, that we saw every point. It's like, no. It's not about that at all. It's about the way we breathed. It's about the way the silk scarf blowed in the wind. It was the way the hat made my face look as we were going along on the journey. This is the feminine principle. And of course, the sweet point, cultural male chauvinism aside, the sweet point is always in the middle, where, we don't want to end up in hell enjoying and savoring every step of the way as we go bankrupt and broke, and all this stuff. On the other hand, we don't want to spend our entire life in a frenetic survival safety race with no aesthetic at all. And get there, but it just has no class. So that's the essence of this talk. And as with all of the talks, I invite you to subscribe if you're not, if you want to get prompts as each new video comes out for an entire year. I invite you to share what you do with each of the blogs, how they touch your life, and I will see you on the next video.